Alright, alright, I figured it out. I don't know what had happened, but I hit restore variant on the particular brush. You can kind of restore, you know how some things are a certain way in like a brush or something, and you can go into the program and restore the original settings. So that's what I just did, and now I have everything back. So now I'm going to go up into this building here, and I'm going to show how fast this actually can all be. So we'll have maybe some blue sky, um, and I don't want to always have just regular blue sky, so maybe a purplish sky back here, and it's kind of a little more interesting. And so it's just like, this is almost going to be like turn on some music. Once you get used to your tools, and it'll only take you a day or two. At first it'll just be like, I like Photoshop, but you'll get used to it. And these act a little bit more actually like real paints and stuff in a way. So I'm going around this. And remember, unlike paint, you're going to be able to go back in here, and you want to keep it a little bit loose. You're not trying to get pure straight colors or anything like that. So now I'm going back here, and you can sample the color that you had. Sometimes it shows a little less. Anyway, you'll get used to this painting tool over here. Okay, and so let's see, up in this dark room here, now that this thing's working, I'll put a darker shadow. And this is some kind of okay. And is that my hard drive? I hear a noise. All right, so now and like anything, you sort of establish a direction of color, of light. So our light's coming from right to left here, and you can kind of see a little bit that's kind of, actually it looks like, yeah, that's the direction of. And so this guy would probably have pretty ratty old clothes on, so we'll just put kind of grayish clothes on this guy. And my brush is actually a little bit small because I'm just trying to fill in the basic colors. Okay, and then these Roman guys, they're going to have kind of that gray, the leather, kind of the leather colored, oops, dark leather. You know what? I wonder if part of my problem is I'm going to check my, real quick here, my Wacom tablet, because I had trouble with the Wacom earlier. Let me go to, let's see, pressure. No, pressure is normal. I don't know. Alright, well, maybe that's not it. Okay. So, I'm oops. Why did that grab? So I'm putting in the brown leather things that Roman soldiers have. And there's probably a bright red, or they have kind of an orange red, more like that color. Okay, so let's see. And so now let's put in the pants of these guys. And just to keep kind of it easier to read, I'm going to put, they probably didn't have super bright colors back then, so I'm going to put kind of a dull blue. Like this. By now I'm sure you're bored, but I want to be sure to do enough of this that you can have an idea of the strategy. What I try to do is large areas first, little areas last, and then you put little highlights on. In fact, I'm just going to do this one soldier right here so that I show you all of my techniques. I would usually go and do all of this at the end, but let's just do this guy. I'm going to zoom in here. And oops, not that much. Okay. So you never want to get much closer to this, or else you do that thing that we all know happens digitally, and that is you get caught up in more detail than you need to. Okay. And my brush is still doing that hard. Like if I press hard, it does a different, and usually it never behaves like that. So I mean, I can do it that way, but it's I'm not used to that kind of behavior. So anyway, well, all right. So I'm just doing this guy here, and what's nice is the variation and everything in Painter, and the blending it automatically does. That's what's going to make it look like this was all hand done. So actually I'm going to do this guy, these two, this guy and the Roman, these two together, because this is a nice dramatic setting. So now for the metal, I'm going to have like a bluish color, a grayish bluish color here for the metal. And I just realized that's pretty close to their pants. I wonder if I should have made the pants like, let's see. Oh, I know. I'm going to make the pants more of a purplish blue. So that way it'll be different from the metal. Okay, so on the metal here, I'm going to make this more of a sky gray blue here, like this. And And sometimes you have to figure out what's going on. Like, I just realized, I think this is kind of like a leather, part of the leather belt thing going on. So, yeah, that's what that is. All right. And then the face, we need to, I want ethnic diversity, so, but these guys are probably white Romans, and usually don't want to make anybody who's a sort of a questionable bad guy an ethnic group, unless it's like specifically does. So like, what's going on here? Oh, I get it. This is the arm of the Roman here. And then I think they had like kind of a bright red upper shirt, which gives us a nice chance for some accents. So I'm going to go in here and put this red color in. All right. And right now I'm just mostly, as you're going along, you're doing this like you were filling in for a coloring book, which is fine. In a minute, I think you'll get why you just fill it in at this point like this. So all right. In Hannah, we can market this book. If we come up with a kid's giant comic book, like a graphic novel of all the story, this has every single story in Jesus's life, every single story he told, every single incident in all four Gospels. So it's going to be a really special book. So but it's still kind of acting kind of weird to me there. Okay, so here's his leg, and I think I'm not going to do the leg. I mean, anything below the legs. Okay, this will be enough to give you the idea. Now, this is really the important part of everything so far. It's right now. It's just been filling in, putting in color, and now we're going to do the accents, and this is the magic of Painter. So I'm going to go, oh, I know what the problem is. I think the opacity was way down too low. I think that was it. In fact, I'm sure this is what's been bugging me. Okay. So now we're going to put highlights in and dark. So now we're going to go back in here now, and we're going to put some dark values in. So here, like on his hat, we're going to put some you put in like the shadows and stuff. And you can even put some of the shadows into some of the color areas, because it kind of mixes with it just slightly. Like, and it's all right if it spills over a little bit. You know, it's all right if it's not perfect. You're not trying to. This is supposed to look hand painted, so this is really the critical thing. So now, let's see. I think I'm ready now to. Why won't this? Okay. Hold on. I was just trying to do this little thing on his head. All right, so now we do the highlights. And this is the magic. So this time we do cut down the opacity a little bit. And I'm going to go in and put like a yellow, like the sun. And now watch this. This is... This is the shininess of the metal. And we're thinking that the and you'll notice I'm not putting pure white. I'm putting kind of a like a warm yellow from the kind of a yellow sun. It mixes in a really sophisticated way. And then you can make a little thin brush, and we can put like the rim on his outfit here, and here's the rim on the hat, like that. And then the little highlights here on his hand, little highlights like that. And then this is great for like little rim lighting from the afternoon sun. So we'll go in here and, you know, and maybe down here on the edge of this, switch colors but have a lighter color. And no, you can put more color in than that. So now we put a little bit of, and this will go pretty fast when you're just flying along. Like I'm taking pretty, maybe a little bit more, a lot slower than normally if I was kind of bombing along on my own. But okay, so all right, and there was just too much red, like in that, during too much, and here on his arm here. And then underneath this guy. And when I come to your, when you give me the riff file, when you save it like this, if there's any little tweaking that I think would add a lot, then Dad's able to go in and just, you know, tweak a little bit the what you've already done, and, you know, just if I see some little thing that I think will. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in here. I'm about done. Thanks for your patience on this. Putting a little bit of color in the guy's beard here. And all right, this is enough to, I think, give you the sense of all right. All right, so now, and then with metal, now I'm going to go get some pure white here, just a couple little spots. The last thing is just kind of some, because you know how metal will have like a, okay. All right, and now I'll pull in here, and oops. So hopefully on your video here, you can see what we've done. And one of the things, Hannah, that you'll notice right away is that put a little highlight on that guy's lips. Why isn't that working? Oh, I hit a different brush. Okay. And one of the things you'll one of the things you'll notice is how different this looks than Photoshop. Like if you look here, you'll realize that you know, there's this. Let's sit up again. You'll see that there's texture. There's this texture that's in the paint that, you know, it's very subtle, but when it prints and stuff, it stays there. So that's it. Dad's done. Sorry to take so long, but I wanted you to see these little highlights and stuff, and that you fill in big areas, and then you come in with the little highlights, and that's how we end up with this wonderful graphic novel. And we've got lots of wonderful plans for it. And I'd love my daughter to colorize a lot of it. Oh man, okay. I just remind you again, if you don't do this step, we're going to be really messed up. So now you hit save, you hit save as, and now it's going to come up, and let's see, prepped Hannah. So in here right now, these are PSD files. So in Painter, you go down here and you go to Painter Riff. Painter Riff, it's critical. You hit save. You hit save, hold on. Come on. Say, oh, okay. Could not be, oh, okay, I'm having a technical problem. I have to temporarily save it on my Thunderbolt. I don't know, I've got a bug right now, and on my main hard drive, this version of Painter won't save files, hasn't for a few weeks, and I just haven't had time to troubleshoot it, but it will save on my external hard drive. So I'll save this, but then I can drag it over into my other one after. So save. Okay, and that now is saved. So now I close this, and now I'm going to go to open, and I want you to just see here. Let's see, what was that called? Oh, 028. Okay, here it is. So now if I open this up again, after you're done, I can go back in here and I can pick, like, for example, white, and go in and clean up, or I can put little highlights, or I can, you know, repaint. It's totally editable. So this is really important to save it as a RIF file. Then we can always open it back up in Painter, okay? So that's it. Love you.